In this presentation, we will enter personal cash outflows from our bank statement into our personal QuickBooks file for the month of February, outflows related to credit card payments, college costs, and phone bills. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are on the home page. We currently have the open windows open. We can open the open windows by going to the view dropdown and selecting the open windows list. We're now going to go to the check register, selecting the banking dropdown and going down to the use register. We're going to select the checking account. That's the one we want. Here is our check register. So within our check register, we're going to enter the data from our bank statement as we've been doing so far. This is our bank statement for the month of February. We've already entered January's bank statement. We've entered the deposits and we've gotten to this point on the checks. Next item we need to enter is the credit card. And that's that tricky one, of course, because there's a couple ways we can do that in the personal account. We're doing kind of the middle way of complexity where we can use just the check register but try to enter a bit more detail with the use of the credit card statement. So we will continue with that method here. We're going to go back to our checking account. The credit card, this is the payment we made on the, I'll close that back out. This is the payment we made on the credit card, which happened on the 15th. And it's going to be electronic transfer. And we're just going to call it credit card. And so we got the credit card's the vendor. We put the number, tab. It's going to be for 150. That's how much we're paying. That's how much we did pay. And it can't really memorize the last thing that happened to the credit card because we have a split. We got other activity happening other than just one account that we've went to. This is where the method will come in. Now, if we don't want to enter the detail and we want to go to the credit card statement to enter the detail, we could make an account just called credit card expense type of account, and we could use that. However, that won't give us any detail on this statement. So we're going to use the kind of middle method where we're going to find the credit card statement, and note that this would probably be the statement for January that we would then be paying in February. We're using the February statement that we're paying in February. So just, be aware of that for our example problem. But note that the beginning balance here is $285. That should match, if everything's working as it should be, what is on our liability in our statement right now. So in other words, if we go to the reports dropdown, company and financial, and take a look at the balance sheet standard, change this to, I'm just going to change it to the end of the year, 12/31/20. We have the credit card at $285. That's the balance right now because we owed last time and we only paid part of it. So in other words, if we were to check the detail here, we would say 01/01/20 for the detail. We made the $285 payment. The detail there is the check that we had. So here's the expenses and we only made $100 payment on it. Okay, so what's enough of that? We're going to go back. That should match if this method is working. Now we're going to get our credit card statement. So our credit card statement is here, and that's our beginning balance. Then we had these new transactions, which are comprised of groceries, Chevron, and Starbucks again. We're going to owe $710, but we only paid the $150. So let's see what happens. We're going to go back to QuickBooks, and we're going to enter this information in. The first one was to Ralph's, which we're going to say is groceries. And that was for $350. And then I'm going to put in the memo who we paid. So it's not going to be able to track by vendor, but we're going to be able to track it in that format, at least in the memo. And then the next item was, let's see, this one, Chevron, gas, Chevron. That's going to be, let's say, I think we put it under auto and then gas. And that was for $55. And that's going to be Chevron. And then we have one more item, which was Starbucks. So Starbucks is going to be our next item. And I think we put coffee in its own account. So there's coffee, and that's going to be 20. And that was for Starbucks. And now we have $275 difference here because, of course, we had new charges added up of the 350 plus the 55 plus the 20 minus what we paid, 150, means we owe another 275. Our credit balance is increasing. So that's going to go to the credit card liability account. So credit card, not the expense account, but the liability account. And so there we have that. And then we're going to go ahead and record it, save it. And then if we go back to our balance sheet, then we'll see that the credit card balance went up to 560 because, of course, we owed this 270, and then we owed 710, and we paid 150, so we owe the 560 still on the credit card. So that's just one method we could use to do this, and it allows us to go into the check register and enter it all within the check register, but doesn't give us quite as much detail as the full method that we could use, but it gives us more detail than the complete shorthand would just be to record it as a credit card expense. So then we're going to continue forward here. Let's see what else we got. Next item, credit cards paid. Highlight. We've got Ease Childcare, so that should be much the same. The rest of these should be much the same. We'll tab. We're going to say Ease Childcare. There it is. All I got to do is type it in there. Populates for us 125. That's the amount already going to the correct account. So that one's nice and easy. We'll go back. We'll highlight it. Say it has been completed. Netflix is the next item. So that happened last month. So it should be fairly easy. It happened on the 17th. We're going to say Netflix. Just type it in there and it should populate for us. And we will then say that's for 20. Netflix is the account we set up for it as well, so that's good. There is that one. Next item, Netflix is done, is going to be the cable company. So we'll go back over here. And that's on the 19th tab, electronic transfer, cable. I'm just typing it in there. It'll auto-populate for us as we do so. So the cable was 48 tab. Now, again, I'm doing this quickly too. Notice if I miskey anything, if I mess up the amount or something like that, then I'll be able to catch that as I reconcile. We shouldn't mess up the accounts because they're already there for us. They're there as long as we set them up properly in the first month. That shouldn't be where we mess up. The place we mess up may be inputting, going back to the statement, might be in the amounts we put in, which we'll be able to verify and check, at least give another check to when we reconcile. And then Verizon. So we'll go to Verizon, our phone company. So that happened on the 21st. Tab Verizon, typing that in. 83. Telephone looks good, and enter. So going back to our reports then, we're going to stop there. We should highlight it. I'll highlight the Verizon. Verizon has been completed. And then we go back over and we can just check our reports. Much easier process so far. Profit and loss. Checking from 010120 to 022920. That's what we have so far. Month of January and February. The information in here related to like Starbucks, the coffee, our coffee. That's the first one that comes to mind. I want some coffee. Is here. We've entered that in. So here's our 2 for January and February. If we want to make a comparison, we can take a look at the months here and see the 2 months. So far, obviously, we haven't quite entered all the detail yet from our bank statement. So we'll see the full comparison once done so. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.